Hey guys, it's Brianna, and today, since Kamryn's not here, I am doing a book review. Well, this is two book reviews, and it is going to be Pretty Little Liars by Cheryl Shepherd and Crossed by Ali Condé. I read these books about 2 weeks ago. I gave this book a 5 out of 5. I've had this book sitting on my shelf for about 2 years now, 2 or 3. And I just now got around to reading it, and I loved it. It's similar to the show. It's pretty similar. There's, in the beginning, about halfway, it was similar, like, almost the same as the show, and then after that, it was different. If you guys don't know what this is, it's these girls right here. Spencer, Hannah, Aria, and Emily. And they're all best friends with Allie or Allison, and in 7th grade they all have deep dark secrets. Only Allie knows their secrets, but none of the girls know each other's secrets, and that's the big part of the show. And one day while they're having a slumber party or something, they get into a fight or something, and Allie ends up leaving. It's Spencer. She goes out to try and go find Allison, and they couldn't find her, but then they hear a scream, and they think it's Allie, but they don't know. A week later, Allie had gone missing, and after that, all the girls just disperse, and they don't talk to each other or anything. If you haven't read this book, I'd leave now, because I may spoil it for you, and if you haven't watched the show. Let's get started with the girls' secrets, I guess. So, Spencer's secret, her secret is that she hooks up her sister's boyfriends either while they're dating. Ian was the first one. Melissa's new boyfriend, Ren, is the next one. I'll get into more of that in a minute. And then Hannah's secret was that in 7th grade she used to be fat. Her family wasn't nice to her. Her dad basically didn't approve of her. His stepdaughter, who is Katie, thought she was the best daughter ever. She's really skinny, and she would make herself throw up, and she was bulimic, and she shoplifts too, because her mom, they have money, but they don't have enough money to get the stuff that Hannah wants. She's into Prada and Coach and all the expensive brands. And so her and Mona Vanderwall, who it used to be in 7th grade, was the dorky, nerdy kid that they always try to run from. And now Hannah and Mona are best friends, and they do everything together. And Aria left Rosewood after 7th grade because her dad got a promotion, and her family moved to Finland, and now they're back. I think it's their junior year. And now they've moved back to Rosewood. She ends up going to a bar in Rosewood. I think it's out of Rosewood or something. I can't remember. And she meets this guy named Ezra Fitz, who she hooks up with, I guess, in the bar. And she said that she wants to be, Ezra Fitz is a English major, and Aria wants to major in English, but she doesn't say how old she is or if she's completed college. And so when they go to school, she's in her English class, and the teacher walks in. She looks up and then sees a really cute guy standing up at the board writing his name. And then as soon as he turns around, she's like, "Oh gosh, that's Ezra Fitz." Aria gets a text message saying, "Aria, surprise, I wonder what your pig puppet will have to say about this. A." And that's the big thing about this book, is who's A, who knows all their secrets, who is it this person or is it this person? How do they know what we're doing? No one should know what we're doing. And then Spencer's secret is that she's lesbian. Maya St. Germain, who is the girl that moved into Allison's house after the De Laurentiis moved out, and she finds out that they like each other. In 7th grade, Spencer was hanging out with Allie, and Emily got some like weird vibes, thinking that Allie liked her and all this, and Emily ended up kissing her, and Allie was just like, she wasn't mad, but she wasn't all over it. It was weird. And then as soon as Emily got home, she wrote her a love letter to Allie, but she never sent it. And then that first day of school, when everybody's in class, all the girls have the same like class. Let's get into what I thought about it. Oh, so the differences I noticed between the show and the book was that Emily, instead of in the show she has like blackish hair. In the books she has blonde hair, which I found was kind of odd. And she also has an older sister named Caroline. Yeah. And in the show, I don't really remember her ever having any siblings. I only thought she was an only child. The Spencer and Ren like situation, when Spencer got the barn house for a while, that I don't remember that being in the show, where Ren came over and was gonna rub icy hot on Spencer because she was hurting from practice. But I don't remember them ever like kissing and all that stuff. And then having Melissa standing outside the barn smoking a cigarette, and then the next day they find out that, or Melissa had like told that they were kissing, and Melissa knew, and her parents like hated her and basically just disowned her, which I thought was kind of mean, but I guess, yeah. I absolutely love Arya and Ezra. They're my favorite couple in that show. Either that or Hannah and Caleb, but Caleb's not in the book yet, but I love Arya and Ezra. I love their like relationship, even though it's bad. I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. Then towards the end of the book, Emily, she was on her way home. No, because I think she had a fight with her family that she was going to quit the swimming team because she just didn't want to do it anymore. And she was tired of it because her parents are very bossy. And so she goes over to Maya's house just to go talk to her because she knows she can trust her. And Maya was like, oh my god, they found Allison's body. And then Emily's like freaking out, like, what? Like, they found Allison. She's like, what? She's alive? They found her body. And Arya made her way over there and was so devastated that she ran to Ezra. But he was all mad because she left her phone over there, and Ezra was going through her text and had found a text from A, or A knew that they were hooking up and all that whatnot. He was mad. Ezra was screaming at her, and Arya just wanted to talk to him, and they confessed that they both like each other and all this. Arya was like so like out of her mind that she ended up biting Ezra, and he was like, "That's it, just get out of my apartment." And then she had a broken heart, and then she ran home, and she didn't know what she just did, and all that. The one thing I didn't like about the book was that it's in third person. I don't remember like what kind of third person it is. Each chapter is set between like a character like Spencer or Arya or one of them, and it just like talks about their story, but it's third person, but you can hear what they're thinking, I guess. Crossed, I gave it a 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved it. For Matched, I only gave it a 4 out of 5. I almost gave it a 3 out of 5 just because like the first half of the book was extremely boring and I didn't like it at all. But I definitely like this one more. If you haven't read Matched, I'd leave now because I'm going to spoil a lot for you. At the end of the book of Matched, we see that Kyle's been taken away by the officials because Cassia did the test to place him like a good worker or a bad worker, but was now sent off to war. And she wakes up from her dreams and hears some screaming, so she runs outside thinking something's wrong, which it was. And it turns out that it was Kai being taken away by the officials. His aunt running after them, saying, no, you can't take him, and all this. And then, so the whole point of Crossed was to find Kai and how they're going to find each other, even though they have no way, like, of communication to figure out where each other were. Cassia was sent off to, I think it was, I can't remember, it's been a while since I read it, but she was sent off to another, I think she was sent off to an outer Providence, but I can't remember. The one thing I didn't like about it is that it would keep, each chapter was switched between Cassia's point of view and Kai's point of view, and after a while, like when I got like really into the book, I would start another chapter, but I would completely ignore like the chapter title and all that, and I would just start reading, and I'd be like, wait, whose point of view is this? And I would have to go back pages to figure out whose point of view it was, and that was kind of confusing, but I mean, other than that, it didn't really bother me. And I really liked having Kai's point of view too, because his adventure trying to find Cassia was also really good. I had so many emotions like swirling around in my head, especially like through. I stopped reading it for the booktubeathon. I was already like a third of the way done, but I wanted to get all these challenges done and all that, but I didn't. But then I think it was that Monday, I think I picked it back up and read all 2/3 of the book and finished it. Like, oh my gosh, it was so good. I was so excited when Cassia and Kai found each other. Oh my gosh, I was fangirling hard. Oh my gosh. I almost wanted to start crying when Vic died because, like, his story with Lainey, who is his girlfriend back in his, like, society. I don't know what to call it. Like, town, but it's not a town. Their whole story, oh my gosh, it was so sad. I wanted to cry. Indy, I don't know if I liked her at all. She's on the fences with me. She kept stealing stuff from Cassia, like, you don't do that. And then how every night she would look at Cassia's microcard or microcard, whatever, of Xander. I found that kind of odd. When she doesn't even know Xander, she's never met him, but then she has like this huge crush on him. I thought that was kind of odd. Yeah, Indy had found a little strip of paper that was part of like Xander's like information, I guess, that he had like this really big secret that he was gonna tell Cassia whenever they met up again. But it fell out of like Cassia had like this box of like blue tablets that she got from Xander, but they thought that the blue tablets were like extra like health or like nutrition and stuff, but it turned out that it was actually poison. But neither Cassia didn't know that, and when Xander gave it to Cassia, he had no idea. Well, that's what we're assuming, that he had no idea what it was. But whenever they met up with Kai was freaking out. He's like, Indy, why did you let Cassia have those tablets? You know that they're poison and all this. And they were freaking out because Cassia was sick for a while because of the tablets, and whenever she took out all the tablets, she dropped a piece of paper, which was Xander's like secret that he had something to tell. Indy picked it up and held on to it for Cassia, but then one night Indy went up to Kai and was like, telling him all this stuff, and they got into this big argument. Indy showed Kai the piece of paper, and I think they ended up burning it because Kai's like, that's not something I should tell Cassia. That should be Xander's thing to do, not me. And then they ended up burning the map to get to the rebellion, I think. Indy wanted it so bad, and how she wanted to be part of like the rebels, I guess. The rebellion. Later in the book, you find out what Xander's secret is, and it turns out he's actually the leader of the rebellion, which, I mean, I guess I kind of anticipated it. I guess I wasn't really shocked when I read it. I was like, oh, okay, I don't really care. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's kind of a big deal, but a little poem on page 273, oh, that was adorable. Let me see if I can find it. I never named anything I've ever written before. No reason to, since it would all have the same title anyway, for you. But I would call this one Night, that night, when we would let the world be only you and only me. We stood on it while it spun, green and blue and red. The music ended, but we were still singing. Oh my gosh, I thought that was so cute, and I thought of like, how I kind of like pictured it was like, after everything is settled, or like whenever they've like Cassia and Kai find like their own like minute where they're not thinking about the rebellion or their family or their society or anything, and they're just like focusing on them. And I thought it was really cute. I'm really bad at like analyzing poetry. Like it's not my thing, but like that poem, oh my gosh, I thought it was adorable. Hunter, who's a character that was in the, I think he's an aberration. I don't know, he's like in his late 20s, I think, and he had a 5-year-old daughter. The day that they all walked up they were hiding because they didn't know what he was doing, and he was like carrying something, and it was like pitch black and it was raining, and it turns out that it was his daughter who had died of like some disease because they live out in the outer provinces, so they don't have like, so if they get sick or something happens, they just have to suffer through it. She ended up dying because I guess her body couldn't fight through it, and it was so sad. She was only 5 years old, and she died. It broke my heart, like, into a million pieces. That's so sad. A 5-year-old shouldn't have to die. And the way it ended, again, Kai and Cassia are separated yet again because Cassia is being sent back to the society to, like, I guess, spy on them, I guess. Kai is being, I think he's the pilot, which was, like, a big secret that he was going to be the pilot or something. I hope you liked my review. Sorry it kind of sucked, and sorry it's kind of weird looking. But yeah, see you next time. Bye!